Are you laughing because
You
the box did do that?
When are you gonna keep that in?
Yeah, we're gonna keep that in. We got to now. Anyways, the Mac Attack is back with Cactus Jack in gray and black, but does it smack or is it whack? Let's run it back. What's up, everybody? It is Blue from Blue Shoes, and I'm done rhyming for now. Anyways, yeah, so we're here to do a sneaker review on the Travis Scott Nike Mac Attack in a black and gray colorway. So the Mac Attack debuted back in 1984 as a signature shoe for tennis player John McEnroe. After the initial run of the shoe, they were never re-released or retroed. That was until earlier this year. It's believed that Travis Scott was actually partially responsible for helping bring back the Mac Attack sneaker, as he was a big fan of the shoe. So it's only right that he got a collaboration with the sneaker himself. So for the look of the shoe, it's okay. I think it's a fairly cool looking sneaker. I don't really think it does enough to differentiate it from other similarly shaped shoes like the Jordan 1 Low or the Nike Dunk. It's also an interesting choice for a Travis Scott shoe collaboration. I'm kind of surprised that the colors are as plain as they are. A lot of times he does like olive and pink and with hits of blue or things like that, but just black and gray, kind of plain. Of course, this sneaker does have some of the typical hallmarks of a Travis Scott Nike collaboration: the backward swoosh, Cactus Jack on the heel here. You do also have the Nike logo on the heel and the regular Nike swoosh on the medial side of both shoes. One thing to mention for the looks is there is a blue and black checkered flag with a red Nike logo here on the tongue of the shoe. Again, for the look, I think it's decent. It's nothing to write home about, and definitely not a shoe that would probably make my sneaker rotation very often. But hey, it's a Travis Scott collaboration, so we're bringing you this review to tell you what we think, and I will be truthful and honest about it. All right, moving on to the materials of the shoe. Most of the upper is comprised of this kind of mesh, this like nylon feeling mesh material, as well as different strips of leather. The leather doesn't feel like a very thick cut leather, but I will say it is very soft to the touch. Like, it's very pliable, but that might just be because it's pretty thin. You got the black leather that wraps around the heel there. You have gray leather that's kind of most of the rest of the upper. And again, kind of the leather sections are very reminiscent of like a Nike Dunk or a Air Jordan 1 Low. And of course, the tongue of the shoe is canvas, as are, again, the tongues for Jordan 1s and Dunks. The midsole of the shoe is, again, just a pretty standard rubber, probably exactly the same as the rubber for the Jordan 1 and Nike Dunk. The outsole of the sneaker, same kind of rubber, very similar pattern here on the edge of the outsole. On the bottom of the outsole, though, I will say it is a bit different. There's no kind of radial traction patterns or herringbone traction patterns. There's just alternating squares and circles in almost like a checkered flag kind of pattern. And then here you have almost like a wicker basket, kind of like weave look with the Nike logo on the bottom of the shoe. Obviously, these were originally made to play tennis in. They were actually tennis shoes. But yeah, I don't actually play tennis, so I would never have any idea how they would actually perform on a tennis court, but hopefully quite well. The insole of the sneaker, hold on while I get this insole out of the shoe. All right, I finally got it out. The insole of the shoe doesn't really feel like polyurethane. It's kind of shaped like a lot of the polyurethane insoles are that they've been putting in a lot of Jordan sneakers lately, but it feels like it's just a pretty standard Ortholite cheap foam. So probably not a super duper comfortable insole for the shoe. I should mention that on the collar of the shoe, there is some kind of a knit material that's not very soft or plush. There's a little bit of cushion, but not much. So yeah, that's pretty much gonna do it for the materials. Now on to the comfort of the shoe. The comfort of the shoe, it'd be tough for me to tell you totally, just because, full disclosure, I was only able to get these in a size 12. I typically wear like a 10, 10 and a half. So they're a bit big on me. Probably not the person to go to exactly for sizing, although I did try to do as much research as I could online so that I could give you as accurate information as possible about the sizing. But yeah, these, as far as comfort goes, I've heard from a lot of people that they are a little bit on the narrow side, and so that can make them kind of uncomfortable. Otherwise though, I'd say they probably fit and are about as comfortable as any Jordan 1 or Jordan 1 Low or Nike Dunk sneaker, which isn't the most comfortable. It's a shoe that's now approaching on, I guess, 30, gosh, almost 40 years old. So yeah, this is an almost 40-year-old sneaker. So it's probably not gonna be as comfortable as a lot of your modern sneakers are gonna be. So comfort, not great, but again, if you don't have super wide feet and the narrowness won't bother you, then they'll be just as comfortable as a lot of your other kicks you wear that are older shoes. For the fit, again, I've heard that like lengthwise, they fit pretty much the same as a Jordan 1 Low or a Nike Dunk Low, but the narrowness is something I've heard some people complain about. So I would say it's probably true to size fit, but I could see going up half a size if you have really wide feet, and that's something that you're worried about being bothered by. All right, so yeah, I don't really have much else to say about these. Let's ask the wife what she thinks. What do you think of the Travis Scott Nike Mac Attack?
They're okay. They're kind of plain. Nothing that would really catch my eye if someone was wearing them, but I like the gray. It's a pretty color.
Gray is her favorite neutral color. But I will say, I kind of agree with her. For a Nike Travis Scott collaboration, I kind of expect, and some of his colors are a little bit on the plain side, brown with the original Jordan 1s, brown, black, and white, but there's always kind of different hits of like pink or different color shoelaces you could put in. These just came with the standard gray shoelaces. This is actually a pre-existing colorway of the Nike Mac Attacks. But they just literally created a pair that says Cactus Jack on the back and has a backward Nike swoosh, and that's really the only differences. So it was just a bit odd to see this collaboration from Travis Scott on these. I know they did a bunch of promotional stuff around the time of the release. Like there was a faked argument call, like a phone call that was leaked to the press of Travis Scott and John McEnroe arguing, getting mad at each other, talking about the release of this sneaker, but it turned out that all of it was fake and just a publicity stunt to try to drum up hype for the sneaker. I don't actually think there really was that much hype for the sneaker. The shoe retails for $120. They are, of course, because it's Travis Scott, so anything with Travis Scott is gonna sell for more than retail, but they're actually, right now, I believe, selling, depending on what size, like in this size 12 that these are in, they're selling for around $275-ish at the time of recording this. In some smaller sizes, like my size is size 10, they're reselling for about $230. So that's a decent amount above retail, but honestly not that much more than a lot of your Jordans that we're buying these days. So they are not reselling for crazy prices. So if you just really want a Travis Scott Nike collaboration shoe, this would be one that you could get that's somewhat more affordable than other past Travis Scott collaborations with Nike. But yeah, I think that's gonna about do it. An okay shoe and a bit of an underwhelming collaboration that surprisingly doesn't have all that much hype. But hey, tell me what you think of these shoes in the comment section below, and maybe what you thought of the video as well. I think that's gonna be it for this time. But yeah, maybe go and give a like or a subscription to a channel that doesn't have as many followers and is a bit less known. You never know what that might do to brighten their day and put a smile on their face. Also, feel free to like this video and subscribe to my channel as we review sneakers of all kinds and types, and are going to be doing all sorts of sneaker leaks, news, all those other kind of videos in the future. So yeah, subscribe if you want to follow along with that sneaker journey. But until next time, Blue out.